New tonight, more changes are coming to the Kennedy Center. Back in December, the board voted to put former President Donald Trump's name on the building. And now it's set to close this July for what it calls a much needed makeover. Now, this is a process that could last up to 2 years. Well, tonight, President Trump announcing that the Kennedy Center President Richard Grenell will step down on Monday. Katie Lusso spoke with protesters about the impact of the shakeup.
Now, this protest, it was already planned prior to the changes announced Friday, but this group, they had plenty to say about those changes, including the departure of Richard Grenell.
He was a terrible ambassador to Germany. He was a terrible ambassador to the performing arts, and he's a terrible homosexual. All right, anyway, I'm allowed to say that, right? Because I'm gay, and in case you didn't know, and I'm a drag queen.
Friday night, just steps from the Kennedy Center, Hands Off the Arts held their now weekly protest. Since the announcement in February that the center will close in July to undergo a $200 million facelift.
I'm not ripping it down. I'll be using the steel. So we're using the structure. We're using some of the marble, and some of the marble comes down.
Friday, the president shared these renderings of what it'll look like.
There's no need for it to close. The carpet's brand new, right? They already have some things planned in the works to redo the Kennedy Center and parts of it, maintenance, so there's no reason to close it. And there are jobs, lots of jobs. People are going to lose their jobs. The economy is terrible right now. Why do we want more people to lose their jobs?
The president should be the president of the country. He's got way more important things to do, and every minute he's here is a minute he's not focusing on those things.
The president also announcing that Matt Flacco will take over as the COO and executive director of the Trump Kennedy Center, replacing Richard Grenell, who the president wrote did a great job. But those protesting Friday had a different take as they held up a sign of his face.
He's here tonight because he doesn't have a job anymore. We thought we could find the least flattering. There are a lot of bad pictures of him, but we found the least flattering one we could bring to celebrate his going away.
Their message to the new soon-to-be head of the Kennedy Center:
Listen to the workers who are just trying to do a good job. They don't want to do anything with politics. Listen to the artists who just want to do their shows. And if the president or the interim person who's going to be here, if we had any advice for them, is get the politics out of it and get their hands off the arts.
While the president clearly backs this change, the final approval will come from the board of directors that is expected to happen on Monday. Outside the Kennedy Center, I'm Katie Lusso, WUSA 9.